Hello, everyone. This is Daniel, the Kentucky Atheist, and we're going to be doing a video about paranormal experiences that me and my nephew have had together. And this is my nephew, Adam.
Hi. Okay, so we had a couple of paranormal experiences together, and basically what happened once was there was a time where me and my uncle, we argue sometimes, not like mean argues, but like picking argues, and we were arguing about like what movie to watch. I think he was saying Ghostbusters, I was saying something else.
And how old was you at the time? About 11?
I was either 11 or 10. 10 or 11.
I remember you being about 11, but...
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And basically, out of nowhere, I looked over and the TV was flickered, like changing channels on its own.
Well, what happened with that was, it was originally on YouTube, and the menu selection scrolled down to channels and started flipping through the channels.
And wasn't it also changing, like, from HDMI to HDMI? Like, there was... It
Yes.
started off on YouTube, then it went to normal TV and started switching channels. And
down
then
through the HDMI list,
and
just
then
like you
down
said,
through
yes.
HDMI, like HDMI 1, HDMI 2, Visa, or not Visa, Via, and other ones.
Now, it didn't click on any of them, it just scrolled down until it went to the channel selection, like the regular channel TV, and it was flipping through channels. But go ahead.
And then we have a black shelf next to the front door, and one of the remotes was there.
It's a computer desk.
Yeah, one of the remotes was on top of that, and another was on the coffee table. And both of them were not being touched. Uncle Daniel was by the door, opening it, and I was walking in from the hallway.
Because I was stepping outside to smoke a cigarette.
And that was, I think, my second paranormal experience with you.
Yeah, and
third.
And when I saw the TV at the corner of my eye and what it was doing, I said, Adam, what are you doing? We put it on HDMI 3. That's what the setting of the Blu-ray player's on. And he said, Uncle Daniel, that's not me. Look on top of the black thing. There was a remote. And he said, look at the coffee table. There was the other remote. Because we have Vizio TVs in every room. So the Vizio TV remotes work the same TV. And we were the only two in the house. Now go ahead with the second story.
Basically, the second story this was when I was 12. I completely remember being 12. And I was in the restroom, and I saw a hand, kind of like Uncle Daniel's, flick off the light, but it was like covered in black. I thought it might have been paint or something my uncle might have been working with at the time, but it turned out Uncle Daniel hadn't passed by the restroom at all. He had still been in his bedroom from the beginning, because I walked out of there.
I was
went
putting
to
up
use the restroom.
Oh, go ahead.
And then I saw the hand. After I washed my hands and everything, I went back into the room, and he was still in there doing the same thing he was.
No, you yelled at me, Uncle Daniel, why did you turn out the light?
Yeah, and whenever
I was bent over putting my dumbbells back up because I was working out in my room, because I worked out a lot then. As you see, I haven't in a while. But anyways, as soon as I bent down to put up my dumbbells by my closet door in that corner, you yelled at me, Uncle Daniel, why did you turn out the bathroom light? I'm in the bathroom. And I thought, that's odd. I said, Adam, I haven't been nowhere near the bathroom. It's not me. So I went over to the bathroom, stopped everything I was doing, and I saw that he was flipping up the light switch, and I said, "Did you see the light switch flip down? Like, what happened?" He explained to me that he saw a hand like mine, but it was dirty, and I often did projects, and my hands were often dirty.
Yeah.
But he seen like a dirty hand flip down the switch, and it wasn't me. My hands weren't dirty that day either.
Because that was the weekend, and you didn't normally work on stuff on the weekend. From what I remember, you mostly worked on things during the week.
Well, I worked on things around the clock.
You worked on things mostly whenever I was at school because I wasn't around to spend time with you.
Because, like, the weekend, stuff doesn't always come in that I order off eBay or, at that time, Amazon. I don't order through them anymore because, well, I haven't ordered from them. I think it was been a year, and they sent me a really nasty email that I hadn't ordered from them in a year, and didn't want to keep me as a customer, so that's fine with me. I got eBay and Etsy. But any other stories that you can recall that happened?
I remember not really a story that I personally was with, but it was a story that you told me that I really liked of the haunted hospital.
Yes, I talked about that.
He used to tell me that every week, I think, because I would ask about it because it was really fascinating to me.
Everybody would ask me about that story. My mom, the first few days after I experienced the hospital, she was getting online researching the building because we didn't know why it was haunted at the time. She was asking me all kinds of questions. My sister was constantly asking me questions. Friends of mine were asking me questions. My nephew was always asking me questions about it.
It turned out that the hospital ended up being turned into a Halloween attraction.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't think that was very good because it disturbed the ghost's peace.
Well,
kind of.
It's kind of like this, the spirits don't even want you there in the first place,
That's why they'll mess with you.
Well, it's not so much they want to mess with you, they just want to scare you out of there or whatnot. And just because the place is known to be haunted and then you turn it into a tourist attraction, because it was not a tourist attraction when I went, but whenever you turn it into a tourist attraction and put lights and stuff in there, because it was an abandoned building that had no power, no lights, nothing. And you turn it into a tourist attraction, the ghosts are not going to come out and just perform for you. It just doesn't work that way. So, I just wasn't a fan of them turning into a tourist attraction. But that's just my personal opinion on it. Leave well enough alone sometimes. But is there any personal stories that you've had of your own that...
If I remember correctly, I was walking with my dad.
Uh-huh.
No, not my dad. I was on my own and I was going to the store next door to my house. And I could have sworn that I saw someone standing in the middle of the road, which I haven't told you this story.
No,
but
I don't think you have.
I saw a shadow figure standing in the middle of the road, because the store is it's 30 feet from my house, but there's a bit in between that there's a space, a slight field where people will park old trucks and stuff. And then there's the road between there. And I saw a shadow-like figure walking down the road. And whenever I looked at it, it kind of stayed there for a bit. And then vanished. And then I continued to go to the store thinking maybe I just saw something. But on my way back, I saw it walk across the opposite way of me and then vanish again.
Was it see-through?
It was, yes, very see-through.
I'm just
because
curious.
there were cars passing.
That reminds me of a story that happened to us, but I'll get to that later.
There's cars passing, and both ways. And, like, sometimes it would just go missing because the light going through it. But whenever there was not a car, there was the slight dim lights from the lights that hang above the street lights. And they're further down the road, so you get dim light.
Yeah.
And you can see the figure there. And so whenever it vanished, there was then nothing.
Okay. There was a story. Oh no, go ahead. You got something to say?
But I don't know where or what it was. I do believe that may have been a ghost, but it could easily have been a trick of the light.
That's possible too.
Yes, but that's something I would consider paranormal, personally.
Okay.
Because it looked like a human.
Now, you remember that time? It was probably about 11 or 12 when this happened. We were stopped by a train, but we were,
The ghost car.
Yeah, the Phantom car.
Yes.
You reminded me of that whenever you told me about that story, and I've forgotten all about that, and I'm like, oh, you gotta tell them. So I'm gonna let you be the one to tell them that story.
Okay.
And there's no way this car could have went through the train.
So, me and my uncle, were we coming from Pack Rats?
No,
Or
we left the house and we were going to Pack Rats. We weren't coming from it, we were going to it.
Yes, yeah. We were headed towards Pack Rats, and there's the way we go, there's a train, not really half the way, but a third of the way to Pack Rats. Maybe even a fourth, I'm not sure. But we would always cross the train tracks whenever we would go to Pack Rats, which Pack Rats is the Great Escape Comics to us. That's what we call it.
That's the same road that I almost got hit. That's the same train tracks I almost got hit by a train on the way from the hospital that night. Just wanted to throw that in there.
And...
Not the night that we're talking about, the night of the hospital.
The night of the hospital visit that he went to, his own personal hospital experience.
But anyways, go ahead and continue. I shouldn't have interrupted. Sorry about that.
And basically, there was it a white car in front of us? I'm pretty sure it was like a white car.
I don't know. It looked like a dark gray car, but it was really hard to tell of the color. But it looked like it was a dark gray car. To me, anyways.
Yeah.
It did.
But basically, it doesn't really matter the color of the car. It was the train came.
The train was sitting there on the track all the way across.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even moving. And we were, like, I don't know, about 3-4 cars behind.
No, it was just us in that car, from what I remember.
Oh, yeah, we...
it was just us and that car.
Okay.
And basically, we stopped a little early.
I just remember
and we saw the train was stopped. The car basically went through. There were red lights.
Yeah, we saw it go
us.
through the train. We saw the car go right through the train. That would have been impossible. And
there were red taillights in front of us.
I remember that. I remember the red taillights that passed. First we saw the headlights. Then we saw the taillights as it passed my rear view mirror. As it passed my car, we saw the red taillights, and even stopped at the traffic light behind us. And we did turn around to go follow it, but we didn't see the car after that.
But it went through the train, and the red lights vanished. And whenever we turned around, we went the long way because there is another way.
Yeah.
And as my uncle said, we did not see the car after that experience.
Is there any other experiences that you can recall?
Didn't we hear sounds once?
I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I thought we were in the living room and we heard sounds coming from the back bedroom one time, but don't quote me on that. I'm not fully sure.
Now, I know me and Michaela, but that's the story I'm going to bring her in on whenever we talk about mine and her paranormal experiences together, where we heard a girl calling my name in the living room. But I'm going to save that for the next video, because I'm going to let Michaela tell that one.
Yeah.
Is there any personal experience that you've had by yourself, or...
Not that I can recall other than that one in the road.
Have you and your dad ever experienced anything together, or has
No.
he that you know of?
Not that I know of. I used to be scared of, like, a room. Like, not a building, but just one room in a building.
And do you know why?
No, it was just...
Spooky to you.
No, because we would always be there during the day. Like, there was a lot of daylight coming in. It was just creepy to me. My dad, he used to work at a radio station, and they had basically the entrance. You would go back, and then there would be the recording studio, and then an extra room where I would normally stay and play video games on the computer.
That's when he worked at the Beaver, or
Willie?
Willie? Okay.
And then a few more feet down, there's a storage room. And then more down, there's a big conference room. And that was the room that scared me. There was a back door that led into the conference room. And the conference room was the only one that scared me. I could go into the storage room. I could go into literally any other place. But it was the only one that scared me.
And before we end this video, there are some things I'd like to point out. First of all, psychic mediums do not exist. Do not hand them your money. From my personal experience, if a spirit of a loved one has something to say to you or needs to convey something to you, they're going to come directly to you. And if there are other people in the room, they're going to see and hear the same spirit that came to you. So please do not buy into the cold readings and the hot readings. It's all just a tactic to steal your money because you believe in the paranormal. I'm a firm believer in the paranormal, and yes, I am atheist. I do not believe that there is a higher power, like God, if you will, that governs life on earth or life in the afterlife. I think everything happens through nature. And I think if a spirit has something to convey to a loved one, they're going to come directly to that loved one themselves. They're not going to speak through... They're not going to send me at your doorstep or some gifted psychic medium at your doorstep or on TV or whatnot to say, hey, I have a message from, let's see, your Aunt Sue, your someone by the M and J. It doesn't work that way. If they have something that they need to tell you, they're going to come to you themselves. They prey on... Psychic mediums are predators. There's no one in the world that has psychic abilities. Okay? Just because I've seen a spirit, just because I've seen a loved one or two in my life after they pass away, does not make me a psychic, does not make me a special person.
Everyone could do that.
Yes.
It's
able
to be seen.
There is no exercise or or ritual to perform to be able to do that. If they have something to say to you, they're going to come directly to you. And people that don't believe in spirits, I understand, because if I've never experienced what I've experienced, I wouldn't believe in spirits either. And that's just the fact of the matter. You know, the reason I don't believe that there is a God entity of any kind is because I've seen no evidence for a God of any kind. But I do believe that there is life after death. Just doesn't mean that there has to be a higher power that governs life after death. You know, I believe in being a good person, treating each other with kindness, love, and respect, no matter your color, gender, sexual orientation, or nationality. We're all human beings. We all should love one another and spread the love, especially in these dark times where we have a dictator running the show. We need a vote to get him out. I just casted my ballot today, and I voted for Biden and Amy McGrath. Because I believe in goodwill. I believe in looking out for each other's best interest. Sorry about that. And the best way to do that is to vote responsibly. And to spread kindness. Just like, I don't personally know Bert the Stormtrooper. Love his videos. Think he's a great guy, an awesome dad. I wish I had a dad growing up like that. I wish I had an uncle like me growing up that did prop makings and prop builds and getting your kids involved. And I plan to do that with my kids. I did that with my nephew. You know, a lot of good memories there. And I see him as a great father. So I'm definitely giving Bert the Stormtrooper in this video a shout out. And I believe in spreading love. And that's why I had this 3D printed proton pack shell, because I'm a Ghostbuster fanatic, geek, whatever you want to call me. I'm it. Okay, when it comes to Ghostbusters.
And I doubt when it comes to Transformers.
I realized, okay, well, this guy is a Ghostbuster fanatic. He gets his family involved, and, you know, maybe he would like to have this pack. I didn't even charge him for the pack. I didn't charge him for the shipping. I just did it out of the kindness of my heart to spread love from one fan to another. Even if you don't have anything in common with each other, spread kindness and love from one another. Because we really need that in this country more than ever. But thanks for watching. I do plan on doing the next video with my girlfriend about our paranormal experiences. And I'm going to let her do most of the talking, just like I did with Adam. Thank you very much.
Happy Spooktober.
Yeah.